Hi everybody. It's a new video I'm going to do now. It's about contests. Do we need them? What's the purpose of the contests we enter? What's the quality of the contests? Do we must enter every contest? um, what we can gain with contests. Okay. I particularly go for some, especially if they are free contests, because if I'm going to pay all the contests that are there, I'm going to pay a fortune to enter a contest. So some are very important and are free. So these contests we must profit, take our best profit on those contests. The objective, I think, most of us that are not well known, that we are not known in the so-called industry of photography, dans le milieu de la photographie. We are going. We want to get known better. We want to get known. So the contests give us that opportunity for unknown photographers to be known. And when they get known, they improve maybe they improve their lives in photography. They maybe even they change their profession. Now I remember person, but it was, I think, was from Poland, and he works in a bakery, and he won something in the world of Leica photography, and his life changed forever. Now he's working with Leica, he's doing photographies, he's running the world. Well, it's maybe it's one in millions, of course. We must not have these expectations to not be very depressed about that. So, when I see the contests and I see the juries and I see the things that I see, and some of the photos that winning big contests, really big contests, I see that the search for the original photography is very big. So sometimes the photography is very original. It's really things that we have never seen. Some of them, not all, but some of them we never seen such photography, such photographies. So they are creative and original and specially perfect. They are very perfect, but specially perfect. No, specially creative and original. Okay, I think that's the main criteria for those juries. But sometimes we see critics, criticians of photography and others, and then there's a film in the YouTube that was very funny to see, and at the same time I get almost depressed with that, because they invited 4 or 5 criticians, I think Americans, I think from New York, I don't know, but I think they were Americans, and they were invited to see a group of photos, mostly black and white. Some were very famous and others were taken with phones, and they have nothing to do with art. And the surprise was that those criticians choose photos that worth nothing. They chose several photos as being very good photos, and there were photos, terrible photos. There were even I was looking at that, and I was hearing what they were saying, and I get surprised with what they say. Some of the photos I recognize it as being from Ansel Adams. They don't. They don't. Which was another surprise. I'm talking about photographies worth more than $20 million. One photography worth that. And they didn't recognize, because among those 20 or 30 photographs, I don't remember how many were there was 5 from Ansel Adams. They were all had a bad critic from all the critics. So I'm asking myself, well, is the jury prepared to evaluate the work, our work, if they cannot evaluate and recognize, at least recognize, photos from Ansel Adams? I recognize some of them. At least the 5, I recognize 3. But the other 2, I didn't know it was they were from Ansel Adams. But I recognize the quality, the quality of those photos. But the others, I didn't. So I was a bit surprised, because one thing is the technique perfection, another thing is the creative and the composition and everything. I think those critics don't mind nothing about that, and especially they don't know nothing about photography or photography history. That's something that's important to know when we are criticizing whatever photograph we are criticizing. So it was a big surprise when they simply didn't like $20 million photos from Ansel and Adams. That was a very big surprise. So I asked myself, how the juries, from the contests that surround us, how the juries look at our photographs, how they choose the photographs. Do they know something of photography? Do they know something about techniques, about creativity, about composition, or about history? Because if they don't know nothing of that, they have many difficulties to choose the best one, the one who's going to win the prize. And that's a problem. That's a problem that I have when I see those contests. But they are needed. So we must have courage. We must have much courage. We must have courage to enter those competitions. First, we must have the sure that our work is worth going to those competitions, and we must think that one day someone will look at your photographs and say it's a very good photograph, it's a very creative photograph, it's an original photograph. And so I don't think we must put the contests aside. Okay, we go to the contests. I go especially the free ones because we don't we have to spend in our equipment, in our gear, in our cameras, in our objectives. We like to improve the cameras we have, the lenses we have, and we are not going to spend too much money in those contests, especially when they are. I don't know how they are evaluated. I don't know. I don't know. And I think some of them, when I see the winner photo, some of them and many of them are very good photographs. But there are also many others that are very good photographs. Why that one? I don't see the reason for the choice they made. I cannot see that. And I've seen a lot of photographs. I see photographs for decades, and I cannot see if well, I'm not a teacher or an evaluator of photographs, so maybe I cannot see some details that are seen by them. But when I saw that video with those critics that participated in juries for sure, in juries for contests, and they didn't recognize photographs that are very well known, well, I get suspicious of the quality of some of those contests, because there are millions of photographs that are they are fabulous. They are very well done, very good. They have good compositions. They have good quality, and they are in many of them they are original. And why those photographs don't come to the knowledge of the public in general? Well, I think the contests can give us the recognition of that. Okay, so if you have the courage, if you have the courage, go to contests, and you will see what happens. We never know. Okay, so this was my I've talked about this, and I think this was the theme today, to compete or not compete. Some say that art is art, a photograph is art. I don't have to submit my work to no one, and well, it takes much more time to get known like that. Or you have a job where you are known in the middle, you are known by your work, because your work is because you have a work that is visible to everyone. So I'm not talking about the competitions that you don't submit nothing. You do your work, like the World Press prizes, and we have inclusive. Portuguese have had a special prize for that. The winning one was a very good one too, a very good photograph. But how many photographs like that I have seen already? Lots of them. But this was a very special. It was from journalistic journalistic photography. So these journalistic photographies, they see the work of the photographer, and they give the prize to that photographer. So this is a bit different from our point of view of a hobby, of someone that likes photography, but wouldn't mind if won a prize, not in that in those professionals, but in our hobby we can see, we can show our work, and maybe we have the luck that a jury like our photography. So compete, but don't spend too much money on that. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to ring the bell to get advised for new videos. Thank you and good afternoon.